We'll call tonight's meeting to order. Please rise for the pledge. Oh, I lost my darn agenda. Oh, here. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'd like to welcome our new member to the commission board, Nina Tao. And let's continue on with the agenda. Roll call, yeah, I'm sorry. Well, it doesn't say, oh, there it is after allegiance. Yeah, okay, let's do a roll call.
Weiss,
Yes.
Bright,
Yes.
Tao,
Yes.
Remy.
Yes. Next item is the approval of minutes. You had a chance to read through them. Any comments, changes?
I make a motion to approve the minutes as submitted.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. I would say the discussion is that Nina probably votes present because she wasn't here for the meeting. Just vote present. Make sure your mic will be on. So got a motion and a second. Let's proceed to vote.
I vote present.
Oh, she'll do a roll call.
sorry.
Sorry.
Tao,
No,
Yeah, no.
I vote present.
Weiss,
Yes.
Bright,
Yes.
Remy.
Yes. Next item is the public participation, where there's no limit to the number of speakers, although public comments will be held to an overall time limit of 30 minutes. Speakers have a time limit of 3 minutes. The overall time is 30, but each speaker will be a limit of 3 minutes per person. You may only speak once and may not cede your time to another one, to another commentator. Does anybody here have anything to comment on other than if it's not tied to a public hearing? Seeing none, let's go to item 4, public hearings. And Nancy, would you enlighten us on the first one?
Mr. Chairman, can I interrupt for a
Sure.
second? I need to recuse myself from this portion. I have a professional relationship with the Arters. I am insuring actually this building, so I'm going to leave the room.
Okay, we'll come and get you when we're done. Fortunately, we still have a quorum. He's not here tonight. Yes. Is your mic on?
Got that.
Thank
So
you.
the request tonight is a small 560 square foot addition onto an existing building located at 101 Maple, South Maple. The property is zone commercial highway, which allows medical offices. Just to give you a vicinity map, here's Maine up here. So I've got the existing building circled on there. I'll give you a little close-up of the existing building. The idea here is that they will be adding on right in the location of this existing planter. Let's see if I can do this. Woo, how about that?
Yeah, you did it.
Okay. There really no other changes are proposed to the site. Give you a more detailed look at the site plan with the proposed addition right in this location. The other portion of the building will remain the same. The hatched markings on here are the areas that are currently and will remain landscaped. They will be taking out a small area of landscaping in this location. Otherwise, the access and parking will remain the same on the property. And then one thing that's a little bit different with this, you may not be used to, because this is a small site, less than a half acre in size, our land use code allows or actually directs the zoning administrator to determine whether a site plan should be referred to the city council or not, or if the planning commission would be the decision-making body. So in this case, the zoning administrator, Rachel, has determined that given the small nature of this site and minor changes, that the planning commission would be the approval body for the site plan. So you'll see coming up that there's, instead of your normal recommendation to the city council, you will actually be approving the site plan. Although there's an appeal available, should the owners not like that, the motion that you make on the project. So the criteria for a site plan are the standard regarding, from the code here, regarding paving and layout of the streets and sidewalks, access, drainage, parking spaces, landscaping, and any other aspects deemed, the Planning Commission deems necessary for promoting public health, safety, order, convenience, prosperity, and general welfare. In this case, I've got the development standards for you, although not very much is changing. In the commercial zone, the minimum lot area is 6,000 square feet. That existing lot is 12,500 square feet. The setbacks are not changing, other than a bit in the front, where they're getting closer, but they are not exceeding the 10-foot front setback requirement or the side yards. There is no maximum lot coverage requirement for the commercial zone. Maximum height is not a problem. The parking, there are currently 11 spaces, and given the existing square footage, they are, if you look at gross square footage of the use, and with the addition, they would be a little bit short on that parking requirement. However, we determined that some of the space was in a basement that's not used in any manner that generates a parking requirement. So when we re-examine the amount of square footage that's devoted to patient care, so employees and clients would be accessing that space, the 11 spaces appears to be adequate to meet that requirement. Landscaping, the requirement is 10% or 12 of the entire lot, or 1,250 square feet. Current, even with the taking away of the small planter area, they will be at a 28% of the site being landscaped, so they meet that requirement also. So with that, staff is recommending a motion to approve the draft resolution we provided for you, and just special note that it is a resolution approving the site development plan for the addition to the existing building at 101 Maple Road. Our conditions are basically our standard conditions we have for a site plan, that all requirements of all departments, utility providers, and 2009 City of Cortez construction design standards be met, and that prior to building permit, the appropriate construction drawings, reports, stamped and signed as required, be provided to the building official. Do you have any questions?
Yes, go ahead.
Clarification, you mentioned the removal of some of the landscaping, but even with the remaining landscaping, it would exceed the requirement by over 2.5%.
Yes,
2.5
or more
times.
than that, actually. The requirement for landscaping is 10%, and even with the removed area, they'll be at 28%.
I'm curious as to your speculation why this might have been zoned highway, commercial highway, when the highway is not even close.
Well, you know, the zone categories that we have are central business district, neighborhood business, and commercial highway. It's not all of our commercial designated areas are along the highway, but most of them are. I think you'll see in the draft code, we've changed that to simply commercial.
That's what, well, Bob was at that meeting. That was one of their recommendations, was to take the word highway out of there and just have it commercial, and it makes a whole lot more sense, so.
Right. Most communities would call that maybe general.
Mr. Chairman, I would concur with that. Makes
Yeah.
more sense.
But none of us were around when they zoned it, so, you know, hey, we're okay. Anybody have any questions for Nancy?
My questions, I think you did answer it, was the inadequacy of the parking space. It is stretching it a little bit tight for the square footage, but seeing that the basement is not a livable area, then I concur with the parking space. Thank you.
Then we'd like to hear from the applicants, if they are here. Microphones are over there. You need to go there and state your name and press the button in front to make it turn green so we can hear you. Please. One at a time is fine, or both of you, however you feel comfortable. It's kind of hard to read, so it says push.
Yeah.
There you
How's
go.
that?
There, that's good.
My name is Scott Arter. I am the owner of the building being presented for consideration for addition.
Same type of business going to be in there as what's currently there?
Yeah, when this building was built back in 2002, it was built for a dental office. It's remained a dental office until present day. I continue to have that same desire for the building.
Anybody have any questions for? Okay.
I do.
Oh, go ahead.
So in your current location right now, how many office, how many operations, and what is the need for additional office and space?
So I'm not presently practicing in this office space. So are you talking about the space I'm in currently, or this office space that we're talking about?
Yes.
Currently?
Yes, like your current office, how many rooms, and what's the need for the additional rooms and office?
Sure. The office that I practice out of currently is 1,500 square feet. There are 4 operatories, 1 front desk office space. There's a storage room and a single bathroom for employees and patients. And then we have a shared office space that is our current break room, my office, administrative office, and so on. So in this new space, we are looking at, as it stands, about 1,100 square feet with 3 operatories, which is insufficient for my patient demand. So we are looking to add 560 square feet, but the total number of operatories that will exist after the addition is completed still will remain 4, which is what I presently work with. So the addition is going to provide an additional operatory where patients can be seen, an x-ray room, and a doctor's office with a bathroom for the doctor and a bathroom for staff. I should mention, though, in the existing space at 101 South Maple in the west unit, this is the unit that we're talking about adding an addition onto. It has always provided 4 operatories for patient care, and after the addition is completed, it will still only offer 4 operatories for patient care. So the capacity of the building regarding patient care will not increase. It will only increase in the amount of additional rooms for offices, storage, sterilization, things like that. So non-patient centered square footage.
So do you plan to keep both buildings operating then, so to speak? Or are you gonna move your business to?
I'm going to move my business. I'm currently renting where I work presently.
That makes more sense then.
Yeah. So.
Any other questions? Okay, thank you. We'll go ahead and open it up for public hearing. Anyone here to speak for or against? So, seeing none, we'll close the public hearing, and I guess I would entertain a motion.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion that the Planning and Zoning Commission approve P&Z Resolution Number 5, Series 2024, a resolution approving the site development plan for an addition to the existing building and property located at 101 South Maple Street, Cortez, Colorado, in the Highway Commercial Zone with the following conditions. 1, all requirements of utility providers, city departments, CDOT, and affected districts must be satisfied as outlined in adopted city codes and other regulatory departments. Specifically, all public improvements shall comply with the minimum requirements of the 2009 City of Cortez Construction Design Standards and Specifications. 2, the appropriate construction drawings and reports for the project, revised as required by the city engineer, shall be signed and stamped by a Colorado licensed architect or engineer, must be approved by the building official and city engineer, and a building permit obtained prior to any construction on the property.
Is there a second to that motion?
I second.
Got a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? And let's proceed to vote.
Tao,
Yes.
Yes.
Bright,
Yes.
Remy.
Yes. Motion passes. Would someone go get Katrina, please? You're on TV, by the way. And, I'll go afterwards. The next item of business was the site plan review for 1880 Industrial Road. That was the one that we postponed, or continued, I should say, to specific. Does it have to be a date specific, Patrick, or can we just continue that to the next appropriate meeting after the site plan is complete?
This has been withdrawn from This has been withdrawn from the agenda, so there's no action.
But we made a motion last
I
time.
don't know, you continued it, but it's been, the staff has the authority to withdraw it from the agenda, so they never completed their application, so they pulled it off the agenda.
So then why is it on here?
Well, because it was continued to today, so if anybody that was at the previous hearing was interested in this agenda item, they would see that it's on the agenda, but they would read the agenda that says that it's been withdrawn. So the planning commission doesn't need to take action.
I guess I'm a little confused. Since we made a motion to put it on the agenda for this specific meeting, wouldn't it have to be on there then?
No,
Well, then what good's our motion?
your motion, because it was on the agenda at the last meeting, but it was not ready to go forward. It shouldn't have been on the agenda in the first place, but because it was, in order to continue it and allow the applicant to complete the application, it was continued to today, but they never did complete the application, so therefore the item is withdrawn, and they will have to start all over again if they want to go forward with the application. But that way, anybody that was aware of the agenda item from the last meeting that had planned to show up today, if you didn't put it on the agenda at all and didn't mention that it had been withdrawn, then they would be confused, because they would have had their calendar marked to show up if they were interested in this agenda item. This way, they can see that it's on the agenda, but that it's withdrawn, so they don't need to show up, and that it won't be continued to another date certain.
I guess when we made the motion in the last meeting, that I was kind of under the impression that if they didn't have it ready, I mean, I know we put that date certain, and is that a requirement to be a date certain, or could we have just said to the next meeting after it's complete?
A continuance is always to a date certain. A tabling essentially results in killing the application. So if you say,
And we
we
continue.
table
right?
it, then the application is done, and we have to reapply. If you had tabled it at the last one, I guess you had that option. I think the thought was that perhaps the applicant would complete the application in time for it to appear on this agenda, which you had continued it to, and then you could go forward with it. But since they didn't complete the application, staff, we're trying to avoid not having it continuing to be continued. It's a little redundant, but essentially, the applicant doesn't have the ability to keep stringing it out through their inaction in completing the application.
I guess would have been the mindset I was under, that even if they didn't have it completed, we would have to continue it again and continue it again and continue.
Yeah.
Does anybody else have any comments on that? I mean, you weren't here, but. So I guess no presentation, then we just head on to unfinished business. Is that what we do? Any unfinished business? Any new business? And other items, you've got the building permits included in your packet for review. And I guess I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So move.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Any discussion? Let's proceed to vote.
Bright,
Yes.
Tao,
Yes.
Weiss,
Yes.
Remy.
Yes. Meeting adjourned.